Hello everyone, this is Xander and I'm here with a little post-commentary for my match against Kia in the losers round, second losers round, or losers round 2, that'd be the better way of putting it, of the Tourney of Glorious Expectations. So yeah, obviously after my crushing defeat at the hands of Greyhound in round 2 or whatever. Oh, hello cat, you are now beside me. Sorry. Anyway, I got booted down to the losers round. Since I got defeated in round 2, I got booted into losers round 2. And there I got to wait until Kia, or can't remember who the other player was. Was it the orange guy? Until one of them won, and then I faced the winner, who was Kia. Anyway, so yeah, doing Highway to Seoul. I am using Blue Dragon's General. My Kia is using a Blue Motorized. And we all know my opinion of mixed decks is, though. Blue Moto is not nearly as bad as Blue Mech. It has a lot of the same annoying units that Blue Mech has, but it's just not as bad. That makes sense, yeah. So I decided to do a pretty standard opener for this. I'm mostly focusing on the right side of the map, only a relatively light forces on the left. Just deploying my stuff. Remember to bring a mortar this time. I don't always remember to bring a mortar. But I figured since, I am using a QMR Shiki, I probably should have a mortar for that. Otherwise, bad things happen to my super heavies regardless of whether or not I have a mortar. The mortar reduces the chances of the bad stuff happening. It delays it. And, yeah. Throw that down and I'll meet you once the exciting stuff happens. Well, my voice will. You guys can watch whatever's happening. Or I'll just keep recording. You never know. Alright, so here we go. We're off to the races. My kind of a bit slow getting all my units going. I'm just so rusty at the game right now, just having been playing it a lot the last couple months. So yeah, definitely does not do wonders for your ability to play, not playing the game. Who would have thunk it? Anyway, so yeah, got my stuff going everywhere. Got JSF Rangers and Chumat for the town there, on next to Delta, or between Delta and Echo. Pretty standard stuff. Had the ninja flying point for me. Hindsight says I should have had it on the left side, as you will see shortly. Alright, so I didn't send very much to Charlie, just, a couple of KFE 25s with So Chung Su, 85, a Hachinanda Shiki, and a gun tank. So yeah, not a whole lot of stuff there. And which is really kind of silly because the standard tactic for moto decks on this map is to go for the Golf Charlie side. Like almost every time I face a moto deck, that is where they focus. So yeah, Puff comes out, but my short arrow chased it away. And yeah, Hachinanda going after the Gazelle Cannon, except my Hachinanda was moving, so its accuracy was not particularly good. So I just shot the ninja over there. And in classic fashion, my CV doesn't get in the building, because why would the CV infantry get in the building? And then, yeah, bit of a miss micro here. I sent the HMV with the Rangers up ahead, and yeah, AMX-10RC popped it. And then I had to get the HMV to take the shot from the AMX-10. And get another thing of Rangers. And of course the AMX-10RC deploys its cloaking device before my Rangers, or before my Chumat can kill it. And yeah. At this point I'm just like, okay, I need to get some, get a little bit of flank security, base security sort of thing going. Get a Chumat for the buildings here. This is why I like being on the bottom part a bit more, I think. I think both sides have their merits, but I don't know, I kind of like the bottom part, and then, yeah, these guys caught in the open in a bad spot. Like, I just didn't deploy these guys very well. So I send a K1 into a heavily forested area. Anyway, I just leave these guys out in the open with a Milan shooting at them. Always a good idea. If only I had like a mortar or something I could smoke that off with. A little bit, no, too little, too late. Now it's kind of an interesting thing with the moto deck because the infantry is better, but the transport choices are not great for blue moto. They're not horrible, but they're not great. Of course, now at this point, my you know, basically the area between Charlie and my spawn is pretty exposed right now, so I need to get units in there. And yeah, get more JSDF Rangers everywhere. Recon is my friend. This map is fun for line of sight because it's, for at least for getting line of sight for your AA against helicopters is always a hoot on this map. It's just the worst. Not as bad as Punch Bowl though. My god, Punch Bowl's the worst for that. Yeah. It's a Canadian Airborne 90. Interesting choice. I don't know if that's maybe the greatest pick, but they're not horrible. I'd say you'd probably be better off with Commandos 90. Actually no, probably not, because ASLAV PC is prototype, so you don't get that in blue moto. Yeah, that being said, Canadian Airborne not a horrible choice. You know, they do have the Mini-Me and they have the Carl Gustav M3. It's not a bad weapon. I don't know if it's overpriced. Like, it's a victim of the 5-point increment system. Yeah, let's see. Plus 10 weapon, thanks to the 20 AP and 875 meter range. So it's pretty good at popping. Like, you can take a chunk out of, if not one shot, most vehicles in the game. And you know, the 875 meter range is really useful. But it's just, compared to the other weapons that you pay that much for, it's kind of an eh. Like, you know, it doesn't have the, you know, compared to the, say, the RPG 29 or whatever, or 27, the one that the Veda V90 get, the Vampire, you know, it has not nearly as much AP, and also has less accuracy too, I think. I'd have to double check that. And then compared to the Panzerfaust 3, it has better range. Accuracy is better, I do believe, better range, but it just has much less AP, so it's a mixed bag. And meanwhile, you have, you know, the B300 / SMA, which are literally the same weapon, but with one more AP. You know, it's the 5-point increments screw over some units more than others. Meanwhile, my Kurmar got wrecked. Didn't quite see what happened. I think Fusilier's 90 might have had something to do with it. I'm not sure. Or it could be a Kurnas. Because the Kurnas has been... You'll see it later on in this battle. Kia made a somewhat effective use of his Kurnas. And yeah, that Chumat there is just donking shots on a stationary Fuchs Milan. Oh my god. I swear, Chumats are accurate up until I'm using them, and then they're just not accurate at all. But hey, you'll never know. And yeah, so I'm effectively pushed out of that zone there that I just completely forgot the name of. Charlie, there we go. Don't mind me. I have no clue how the map sector names. And my opponent here is telegraphing that he's doing something by smoking. Then again, that's the risk. That's one of the trade-offs with smoke. You know, do you block line of sight? You give up the game that you're doing something. You win some, you lose some. And yeah, so now I'm just trying to figure out what my game plan is right now. I don't want to completely give up Charlie, but my main focus right now is in Delta and Echo. And also I need to leverage, and no, I'm just not doing a very good job of leveraging my strengths as a general deck over a moto deck. You know, they technically have better infantry, though with worse transport options for the most part. And also I have better fire support. And also I just have, you know, what, 15 more activation points or whatever? 10 more of that activation points ever works out. So that's a bit of a difference there. So yeah, basically as a, you know, I have, you know, basically I have, you know, better tanks, and I have more cost-effective infantry are my big strengths with this deck. And probably a bigger air tab as well, but Blue Dragon's air tab's nothing to write home about. And my smoke ran out just in time for my vehicles to arrive in the firing line. Such is life. And then there's some XA-186 NOs crossing that bridge, coming right for me. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. That being said, I have the perfect solution. K200s. It's a Zelda with one less machine gun. So that makes it socially acceptable to use, because it's not DLC. And since those two were basically right on top of each other, my Kiramoshiki appeared to one-shot them. So be it. I'm not gonna complain. And don't mind me, I'm just getting all my KFE 25s killed off uselessly. You know, it's not like that's a useful fire support vehicle or anything. Unfortunately, my Kia does not have a whole lot of stuff in Charlie at the moment. At least where I'm doing stuff, so I can get a bit of a foothold back in there. Which is nice. And also I need to get eyes back in there, because, you know, it's one of those places where you need to maintain eyes on that road at many points as possible. And then, yeah, Kiyomaru is not in a great spot. Being that close to Fuser 90 is not a great thing. And then there's my Gok 6 or whatever over there, giving me trouble. Not the most concerning tank ever. It's like, what, a 50, 60 point tank or whatever? The Magok 6 Bet Gal. Or is that a 70? I can't remember the 70 pointer. All I know is that my Kiyomaru took a big chunk out of it. And I've gotten the tick down to 0, which is nice. It's not fun to be ticking down, or for your opponent to have the tick. And I guess, you know, ATGM team out in the open, I might as well punish that. Gotta keep those supply trucks going. And yeah, Nanion Shiki G is fun for cleaning up infantry. And yeah, the Magok goes down to the Chumat. And I figured, hey, I can get a CV out for Echo. That'll be handy dandy. I also need more infantry there. Yeah, no. The Nanion Shiki G did some good work. And I forgot that the Magok was there. It happens. And yeah, I'm like, oh, Link's AH7, and I don't have any AA. Not a great combination. Actually, I actually run out of short arrows in this battle. I think I might just replace the whatchamacallit, the gun tank with my, because I have one card of gun tanks, one card of short arrows. I might just replace them just outright with, you know, 2 cards of upbedded short arrows. 10 points more expensive, so depending on how things work out, it doesn't always work out for economy and openers, but I think it might be worth it. I can do that after the tournament's over. And that KFE 90 that's in Echo there turned out to be pretty useful. Popped a couple ATGM teams. I'm just fortunate there's not as much AMX 10RC spam in this battle as I was expecting. Oh, and here comes the Kurnass. And my AA in this battle was atrocious. I never really brought out any Hawks. Fortunately, he was blind bombing me, so didn't do that much anything. And yeah. So I'm like, I'd rather not deal with this, so yeah, KF-16C comes out. Of course, since he's using a blue moto deck, he can get the block 50, or the F-16A block 15 or whatever, the 125 point, or 120 point, however much, Danish F-16 ASF, which is really good. Is particular in taking out planes like the KF-16C. Because, you know, I'm not annoyed or anything about moto decks. What are you talking about? Or mixed blue decks. I know they have a lot of trade-offs. I don't care. I just don't like them. I think they're a huge balance misstep by Eugen's part, but that's irrelevant. And yeah, I decided to bring out the 203 howitzer. It's a hoot. And then I'm guessing that's just an empty mortar he's driving around for fun. I just stack my mortars personally. I know how much that annoys some people. And that KFE-90 is not really in a great spot right now. It's a little bit too deep into the forest to actually keep an eye on the road. And meanwhile, my short arrow can't draw line of sight on the Lynx H7 because, of course not. God forbid your AA actually be able to do its job. And my short arrows just keep dying. They just keep getting artillery or whatever, spotted and dying and whatnot. It happens. And now I decide to start hammering over there. You know, see if I can whack an enemy CV or anything. And then my opponent captures Charlie, which is gives Kia the +1 tick, which is, you know, not preferable. And now I'm trying to take care of an AMX 10RC, and I don't trust my Nanion Shiki to do it by itself, so I tried to draw fire at the KFV, but the Nanion Shiki G is too deep into the forest right now to actually do anything. And now watch this, 96% accuracy on that AMX 10RC, or 86, something like that. Yeah. 96, and misses. Hits for the second shot though, so yeah, go me. And fortunately, and also, yeah, Nanion Shiki G does have the auto loader, so it does reload. And then of course, a unit popped up, so here comes the Kurnass. God damn, that unit's obnoxious. And yeah, it gets my GSDF Rangers. So, gonna need another one of those. And here you go. The joys of a mixed blue deck. You can have the Kurnass and a nice cheap seed plane like the Puff to go with it. Because if you were to use Israel, you don't get a nice, effective, cheap seed plane. Your cheap option is a freaking, whatchamacallit, Skyhawk, which is awful. Not very useful at all. Meanwhile, you have the Puff, which is actually pretty nice. But I digress. And yeah. There's an enemy CV somewhere in here. It's in that little forest at the top right corner of Echo. So I'm just currently trying to get that. And yeah, my KF-16C was not in position whatsoever. So I'm just trying to get the CV. So I'm just moving things in. Kind of wasted my Nani on Shiki G there, moving it out in the open. Thinking Kia actually has both of the, whatchamacallit, the planes, the current assets, both of them out. And then, of course, I wasn't paying attention to my KF-16 and let it flew over the enemy air defense. Got hit by a Crotal, I do believe. And yeah, I do believe Kia just ran his CV right out. Just drove it out. Actually, I think it was the one that, I think that's the thing that my vehicle just blew up there. Not sure. And then yeah, I just feed a KFE-90 to the Bradley. I should have just stopped and had it shoot instead of trying to get into a forest. Might even be able to do some damage to it. And once again, I forgot about the Magok 6. I also forget that I have a far better tank sitting right next to it. So yeah, I just kind of feed a JSDF Ranger team to it. And yeah, K200s are just chewing apart this Fusiliers out in the open. And big surprise, there's a current ass. But yeah, no, my air defense is awful in this battle. He actually got a split on it too. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Presumably it was. So yeah, I got my K1 and a Sochong Su-85, I do believe. Or got my Chu map, at least to know that. And yeah, AH-1J. And no air defense immediately available because I put my Tam-Sam in the wrong spot. Hate it when I do that. And yeah, just get, you know, another recon squad and another ATGM team out. And then, yeah, getting my Tansen out there because, you know, look, Link J87s with SAS. And then Tansam was out in the open and dies. That was just a bad move on my part. And of course, doesn't even get the kill with the Fire and Forget missile. The game can't even give me that much. And then, yeah, Bradley's still there. Bradley Cavalry Fighting Vehicle. Pretty nice. Used to be better. Used to have, I think, higher availability and a lower cost. But then it's getting abused so much in mixed decks that it got nerfed. Kind of like a couple other units that were being used, that were used a bunch in mixed decks and then nerfed as a result. Of course, some of them were obviously deserved. Like the K1 was at, what, 85 points was way too cheap. We're at 80 points. What is it? What was it before it got nerfed? The K1 was just, yeah, for its price was way too good, so it deserved a lot over 5 points or whatever. Got nerfed by 10 points. And then Stormer and XC-180's coming right in there. And I just, yeah, don't have anything meaty there to stop that. And yeah, get the ASF back out on the cap, and yeah. And yeah, the Bradley's going after my KFE-90. And for whatever reason, Kia just keeps driving his transports into my stuff instead of, you know, using them as fire support. Like going down the road like that, he was just trying to, you know, probe to see if I had anything on the road, which, yeah, of course I do. I'm not that much of an idiot. Usually. Yeah, I know, especially here in Echo, he just keeps moving infantry across the open. But then again, I have better forest access on my side of the map, so sometimes that's just how it goes. Meanwhile, my ATGM team would rather fuck around outside of a building instead of get inside of it. But hey, at least I now can get the Bradley. That's a nice 90-point kill or whatever. And yeah, right now my mortars got picked off by, I think it was an AMX-10 RC or whatever. Ugh. I'm just getting pressed pretty hard here in Echo, because I just don't have a lot of units committed to it. And the Lynx goes down. Not sure what was in it. I think, was it? Because one of my Tansams did get a Lynx H7 with an HQ squad in it, so that might have been that. I'm not 100% sure. And then, yeah, getting some stuff out. Kurnas goes in on my Kiyomaru. Take a nice chunk out of it. And then, yeah, at my 203s. KMR is not in a great spot right now. I'm trying to get the supply trucks over to it. My Tansam went down, which is unfortunate, because I think I'm out of, I have one more left if I'm not out at this point. And just some Gavarman Canadian airborne moving up on me. Because of course. And then yeah, his Kurnas gets my CV. I'm not sure if he spotted it or if he just guessed. I'm not too sure. I think I didn't turn the machine gun off on it, I do believe, so it probably was shooting at Gavarman and gave itself away like that. That is my guess. Anyway, I was actually taking a +1 for a bit there. So yeah, I need to get that back. And then I decided I can't really move my Nanyang Shiki G in there because it's only 8 armor, so it's just going to get picked apart by infantry at these close ranges. Meanwhile, I didn't support my So Chungsu property at this point. They just kind of went across the open. I also forgot to tell them to keep moving after I stopped. After I split them. Yeah. There's that. Have a bunch of points built up, so yeah. Called out another CV. Gotta get that tick, y'all. And I'm out of rangers now. And yeah, he keeps relocating. He has a HQ section in Charlie that he keeps relocating to keep it safe. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of blind firing into the sector to try and catch it. So yeah, he's counter-cap. So yeah, not counter-cap, but since he took out my CV and Echo, he's now taking at +1 again. And my Tansam decides that hitting its target's overrated. Because, you know, that's what AA does. It misses. Up until it doesn't. And yeah, I get supply trucks up for that, and just completely forgot my KFE 25s being in combat over here. So, gotta retake Echo. Get that pushing up. Fortunately, have a Nanion Shiki G to save the day. And meanwhile, I'm just trying to find the CV and Charlie and just throwing everything I have at it. Or just gonna send my KFE 25 in first. And hey, there's the HQ section. So now I need to get over there and take care of that. But hey, look, helicopters, and my AA is not in position to take care of it. Mostly because it's, you know, 2 missiles left. Such is my luck. When in doubt, send in the Lynx H7s with SAS in them. Because you can use them better in Blue Moto than Commonwealth can. Do ho ho. It's only a joke. And yeah, just get another pile of infantry out over there. Because I always need more infantry. Then I completely forgot about these guys I sent to clear out the forest in the bottom corner of Delta. I'm sure I'll remember them at some point. Or maybe not. You never know. And now I'm just bombard the hell out of that forest. I'm bound to get to CV at some point, probably. And yeah, since my KF-16C is dead, I didn't know what happened to it in game, and yeah, it died at one point after I evac'd it. Such is life. I think a block got it, but my Tansam didn't get the Kern-S, so yay, go me. And I just have an AH-1J floating around. Not exactly the greatest choice in this sector, on account of the fact there's a Crotal kicking around somewhere, I do believe, and there's also an SAS squad. I think neither of which are conducive to the well-being of helicopters. And then I might realize that, oh yeah, I should send these guys in. And then I misclick and unload them all the way back there. Sometimes it happens. And then yeah, the Canadian Airborne in the town there, giving me some trouble. Though they're not really that much of a concern because they're kind of isolated, so all I really need to do is leverage fire support against them. Which is something that, you know, Blue Dragons has, is fire support. Maybe not the greatest fire support, but it's workable. And then I'm just fast moving this thing to its death. Because sometimes that's what you gotta do, apparently. And then these guys, yeah, I forgot to move up the K200s to support them. And I never bought another mortar after I lost the two that I had. And then yeah, I forgot to buy another AA piece for Delta after my Tan-7 died. So that's a hoot. And yeah. And Kia's taking up +1 again. Or actually I think it's +2 at this point. I actually can't tell because once again, Power Director preview screen is no resolution whatsoever. And then there's a Leopard Verkenning there. So yeah. I'm just sending out my Peace Pheasant that I have to harass it. So the H1J on standby. Or not on standby, but actually getting in, stuck in. You know, the SASR there, but they go down to my KFE 90. But yeah, you see back there, Crotals there. But you know, I have a K11 or K511, whatever, cargo trucks there, so I just land my H1J right there to resupply. It's handily dandly. Because apparently I now talk like Ned Flanders. And yeah, now I just need to reorganize that so I can make sure that the forest is clear. You know, if a K200 dies, it's not clear. Of course, I never paid attention to see if whether or not the K200 died. I probably would have noticed eventually. And the Leopard Verkenning comes back out, and for whatever reason, Kia's just driving it right towards the forest that is now full of my infantry. Not quite sure why. I still have the Peace Pheasant flying in, but it did get into the forest, and then my gun tank manages to survive. That puff got unlucky. Which is, you know, nice for me. Don't have to buy another gun tank. Helps keep the helicopters, you know, suppressed. And yeah, there's some SBS creeping around in my base. And there's the links that dropped them off. Fortunately, I did have some base security. And then I'm fortunate that Lynx H7 didn't stop and shoot the hell out of my howitzers, because that would have been unfortunate. And then gun tank and H1J going after the Lynx. Good thing it doesn't have any guns. And speaking of H1Js, oh look, there's one right there. And once again, my Tansam's in non-position. Kind of a running theme. And then yeah, I'm getting out an OH1 Ninja just to have the extra AA capability. And now I have my Kute 90 with their Kyoroku WAPCs. And those are a nice, pretty decent combination. Really good at wrecking infantry, kinda against anything else. Because, you know, Carl Gustav M2. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing. Oh look, Kurnas did something. And then you can hear the pooting of the grenade launchers. Varmin out in the open. And yeah. Just relocating my Tansem to be a bit more central in the sector. And I'm just walking some Kute 90 across in Delta. And there's something with an ATGM shooting at me. I'm pretty sure it's like a Bradley CFE M2A3 or M2A2, whatever it is. Or Bradley M3A2, that's what it is. The M2A2 is the infantry fighting vehicle. And then yeah, I just drive my Hachinano right into some Stormer. But hey, I did find the CV. So I'm like, how do I want to take care of that? Well, first of all, mortars, 2 of them. Because I'm going to be that guy. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I have 203 howitzers. I could just use those. Especially since I know where the CV is, and I know it hasn't moved. Which, you know, makes my job easier. And then I'm like, maybe reduce the risk of another thing sneaking around and get a Hachinani out on the side. And then, yeah, H1J goes down to Kute. Turn off the gun on the gun tank as the puff goes by. I could have turned it on a bit sooner. But yeah, I do get to send and then I turn it off. Get the message across or something, I don't know. You know, the message that I'm sort of paying attention. And then the puff goes down to a Tansem or whatever, I think is what it got it. And then, yeah, 10 RC's coming in, and Kia GG's. And then, yeah, here I was about to type out a snarky message about min-maxing with Moto. I'm like, no, wait, GG. And then thinking, yeah. Even though, honestly, Blue Moto is not nearly as bad as Blue Mac for being obnoxious to play against. It can't play properly, it can still be pretty obnoxious, but not nearly as bad as Blue Moto. And yeah, there you go. I won. I couldn't tell you the exact, you know, stats off the top of it, and that's my Discord going off, not yours, don't worry. And yeah, that's it for this. I'll catch you in this is game 1, it's best of 3, so yeah, catch you in the next game. In the meanwhile, I'm Zender Chiron, and you guys have a lovely day. Take care now.